For years, Australian fugitive Hakan Ayik, also known as Big Hux, was at the center of one of the biggest mysteries in global law enforcement. With an estimated net worth of $2.3 billion, Ayik went from a little-known Sydney criminal to one of the world's most wanted drug lords. He was eventually indicted by the FBI under the RICO Act, a charge reserved for high-level organized crime figures. But Ayik's rise took an unexpected turn when he unknowingly became a key player in Operation Trojan Shield, one of the largest criminal surveillance operations in history. Now newly released court documents from the United States reveal just how deeply involved Ayik really was. Once a senior figure in Australia's underworld, he played a crucial role in spreading Unknowingly, a police bug messaging app that helped bring down hundreds of criminals worldwide. A former Sydney bikie, he is now imprisoned in Turkey, facing charges that could land him behind bars for 262 years. But despite being wanted in both Australia and the United States, Turkish law means he's unlikely to be extradited. For a long time, Ayik's role in the Unknown sting remained a mystery. The app itself, secretly designed by the FBI and distributed with help from the Australian Federal Police, was used to intercept conversations about drug deals, money laundering, and violent crimes across the globe. Ayik, without realizing it, helped put that app in the hands of the very criminals it was meant to target. And in doing so, he helped law enforcement pull off one of the most successful operations of its kind. New U.S. court filings now describe Ayik as a key influencer in the operation. Identified in messages by his alias Oscar, Ayik encouraged his associates to adopt the encrypted platform, unknowingly helping authorities monitor thousands of illicit conversations. According to the documents, he even profited from the sale of the unknown devices, reportedly receiving Bitcoin payments and planning to launch a VIP service for high-value criminal users. Prosecutors say Ayik's influence led to the sale of more than 12,000 unknown devices, making him a central figure in what authorities call the Aussie Cartel, a network of offshore drug traffickers with ties to major Australian crime syndicates, including the Comancheros bikies. Ayik had eluded capture for more than a decade, before being arrested shirtless in an upscale apartment in Istanbul in 2023. Despite being on New South Wales Police's most wanted list, he lived lavishly while on the run, owning businesses, cars, and luxury real estate in Turkey, including the King's Cross Hotel in central Istanbul. Although authorities continue to piece together the full scale of Ayik's global operations, the release of these court records adds crucial new detail to the story of how one man, long thought untouchable, helped bring down a global criminal network from the inside out, without ever realizing he was doing it. Hakan Ayik is currently spending his life on remand, in high-profile prison in Istanbul, after he was captured in an affluent suburb of the city, called Kemercountry. On the night of his arrest, Ayik was stripped of his clothing and positively identified by a distinctive dragon tattoo on his right shoulder. He now faces serious charges from Turkish prosecutors, including leading a criminal group and money laundering, linked to the trafficking of 10 to 15 tons of illegal drugs. The Big Hux renounced his Australian citizenship to avoid extradition and prosecution in Australia, where he has been wanted since 2010, in connection with a $230 million heroin bust. He is believed to have trafficked up to $1.5 billion worth of drugs into Australia every year, and was the main supplier for the criminal groups like the Comancheros MC and the Alameddine family. It is believed that his capture significantly disrupted drug supply chains in Australia, causing street prices for cocaine and methamphetamine to rise for some time. The Australian Federal Police had linked Ayik to a global network of over 2,000 suspected criminals across countries including Vietnam, China, Colombia, the Netherlands, South Africa, Malaysia, and New Zealand. His mobile phones are considered a treasure trove of criminal intelligence. Ayik is now being held in Turkey's notorious F-type high-security prison system, known for solitary confinement and harsh conditions. If convicted, he faces a minimum of 20 years and a maximum of 262 years in prison, as per the Turkish law. Reports indicate that Hakan Ayik is facing several ongoing health issues, believed to be linked to his past abuse of anabolic steroids during his time as a bodybuilder and underworld figure. Years of heavy steroid use are known to cause a range of long-term medical complications, and in Ayik's case, these include high cholesterol and type 2 diabetes, both of which require continuous medical management. He now relies on a daily regimen of insulin injections to regulate his blood sugar levels, along with prescription medication to manage dangerously elevated cholesterol levels. These health challenges have not only added to the strain of incarceration but also highlight the toll that years of substance misuse and high-stress criminal activity can take on the body. In a prison environment, particularly within Turkey's high-security F-type system, managing such chronic conditions can be especially difficult, given the limited access to consistent medical care and the harsh living conditions many inmates endure. At the time when he was on the run, Hakan Ayik constructed a global empire not only built on drugs, but carefully hidden behind a complex network of luxury, deception, and corporate obscurity. At the center of this empire was a sprawling portfolio of high-value assets spread across Turkey and beyond, used to launder vast sums of criminal proceeds while enabling him to live a life of astonishing excess. Among the most visible of his holdings was the King's Cross Hotel, a boutique establishment located in central Istanbul. Bearing the name of Sydney's notorious red light district where Ayik once operated as a street-level dealer, the hotel was reportedly more than just a nostalgic tribute. It served as a symbolic outpost of his Australian criminal identity, reimagined through Turkish opulence. Turkish authorities believe it functioned as one of several money laundering hubs disguised under the veil of legitimate hospitality. More surprising still was Ayik's hidden connection to the Byblos Resort in Alasat, a 5-star luxury beach resort located in the picturesque seaside town of Alasat on Turkey's Aegean coast. The resort, which boasts private beaches, Michelin-star dining, and spa facilities, remained publicly unlinked to Ayik until after his arrest, when corporate filings revealed ownership ties to him and a close associate. This revelation stunned investigators, as it demonstrated the reach and sophistication of his laundering strategy, embedding illegal profits into seemingly legitimate tourism infrastructure in one of the country's most elite vacation regions. Though it remains unclear whether the resort is among the properties seized, its association with Ayik was seen as a major breakthrough in mapping the financial footprint of his criminal network. One of the most widely publicized seizures came shortly after Ayik's dramatic arrest in 2023, when Turkish authorities confiscated a collection of 23 luxury vehicles from his Istanbul properties. This fleet, valued at over $3.4 million Australian dollars, included Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Bentleys, Mercedes-Benz G-Wagons, and other high-performance cars typically reserved for oligarchs and celebrities. In a bold public relations move, the Turkish Interior Ministry refitted many of the vehicles for police and traffic use, sending a clear message that criminal wealth would be reclaimed and repurposed for public good. Media footage of Turkish police patrolling in formerly Ayik-owned Lamborghinis went viral, symbolizing a rare moment of poetic justice in the world of international crime. The apartment where Ayik was captured also reflected his lifestyle. Located in Kemer country, one of Istanbul's most affluent gated communities, the property featured top-level security, exclusive golf courses, and a neighborhood of corporate elites and foreign investors. It was here, in this manicured enclave of luxury, that he had apparently lived in relative peace for years, right under the nose of law enforcement. On the night of his arrest, Ayik was stripped of his clothes to confirm his identity through a distinctive dragon tattoo on his right shoulder, a mark known to police from years of fugitive profiling. Beyond these physical assets, Ayik is also suspected of maintaining significant cryptocurrency holdings. According to U.S. court documents and Australian federal police reports, Ayik profited from the sale of thousands of encrypted unknown devices, part of the Trojan Shield sting operation, collecting payments in Bitcoin. Each sale reportedly netted him up to $750 Australian dollars, and with a minimum of 12,000 unknown devices distributed globally under his influence, Ayik's earnings from the scheme alone could have easily totaled millions of dollars. These profits were allegedly paid in Bitcoin, allowing him to discreetly accumulate digital wealth while remaining under the radar of financial regulators. Investigators believe these crypto assets were stored across multiple digital wallets, many still untraced, adding another layer of complexity to efforts to recover his full financial network. Adding further intrigue, Ayik also operated under the alias Hakan Race, a name used to establish Apex World Tourism Investments, a corporate entity allegedly functioning as a front company for his laundering operations. This firm reportedly handled funds funneled through hospitality and tourism ventures across Türkiye, allowing dirty money to be cleaned through legitimate appearing revenues. His use of shell companies extended into offshore tax havens, with reports of possible connections to accounts and corporations in Malta, Panama, and the Netherlands, although these links are still under investigation. There have also been persistent, though unconfirmed reports suggesting that Hakan Ayik had financial ties to a string of wellness centers, fitness clubs, and bodybuilding gyms across Turkey and parts of Southeast Asia, ventures that align seamlessly with his carefully curated public image as a muscular, fitness-obsessed bodybuilder. During his years on the run, Ayik frequently shared images of himself in the gym or striking poses that highlighted his physique, often alongside luxury cars or exotic backdrops. These social media posts were not only a form of self-promotion, but also reinforced his reputation within criminal circles as someone who had both discipline and dominance, traits often idolized in underworld culture. According to investigators, the gyms and wellness centers believed to be linked to him may have been used not only to legitimize portions of his income, but also as potential fronts for laundering illicit drug profits. Besides Big Hucks himself, his family and close associates have also been implicated in his alleged criminal empire, with varying degrees of involvement. Zibel Arif, identified as his wife or long-term partner, was also arrested in Istanbul in 2023. Turkish authorities allege she played a role in money laundering, tied to Ayik's drug trafficking network, and remains in custody awaiting trial after being denied bail. Hakan Arif, known as Little Hucks, is a cousin or close associate and a key lieutenant in Ayik's operations, accused of managing drug trafficking logistics and communication networks. He was also arrested in late 2023. Other associates, such as Bars Tuchel and Jimmy Abijan, while not confirmed as blood relatives, were among the 42 individuals detained in the November 2023 Turkish raids. Another close associate, Melbourne-based, model-turned-bikie boss Hasan Topal, was also taken into custody during the Dawn raids. Topal is also wanted for questioning in connection to 2 murders in Melbourne and is currently awaiting trial. Additionally, Duaxngakuru, a New Zealand-born Comancheros Supreme Commander, was captured and is also awaiting legal proceedings. According to reports, Ayik allegedly relied on trusted family members to launder funds, with relatives acting as nominees or silent directors in legitimate-looking businesses. During his years on the run, Hakan Ayik, nicknamed the Facebook Gangster, gained notoriety for his criminal empire and for brazenly flaunting it online, earning widespread coverage from major news outlets like the BBC and Reuters, as well as a dedicated Wikipedia page. Despite being one of Australia's most wanted men, he maintained an active presence on Facebook and Instagram, often under aliases like Hakan Race and Joseph Ayik. What he saw as status symbols became valuable leads for authorities. It can now be revealed that the investigators tracked patterns in his posts, identifying locations, associates, and assets. The operation was codenamed Dragon Tattoo Trail, a nod to the distinctive marking that ultimately confirmed Ayik's identity. According to Turkish officials, this digital trail played a direct role in locating and arresting him in 2023 at the exclusive estate in Istanbul. In the end, his online bravado helped bring his decade-long run to an end. Taken together, the scope of Ayik's assets offers a rare glimpse into the financial architecture of modern transnational crime. His properties, vehicles, businesses, and crypto dealings reveal a man who not only trafficked in narcotics but carefully constructed a fortress of wealth to sustain his freedom and hide in plain sight. While many of his physical assets have now been seized or frozen by Turkish authorities, law enforcement experts believe millions, possibly hundreds of millions, remain unaccounted for, hidden in shadow accounts, real estate trusts, and layered shell corporations across several continents. His arrest marked a significant blow to the global drug trade, but the unraveling of his empire is far from over. If you're looking for more exciting and eye-catching regular bikie and organized crime updates, don't hesitate, smash that subscribe button, spread the word rapidly, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments section, and for the true grid Spartans out there, consider sending a super thanks or buy us a coffee, to show some love. It goes a long way in keeping us motivated and the channel thriving, as most of the videos on this channel are not monetized due to its crime-related content. Stay tuned, stay curious, stay awesome and take care. Wu-Tang.